Thank you, Faye. Well, what an atmosphere in West London. The Brentford fans, loud and proud here. The Liverpool supporters in one corner of the stadium too. The grey, dark clouds of earlier have given way to actually beautiful, bright sunshine and blue skies up ahead. The floodlights are on, and we have for you yet another milestone occasion on a great sporting day across the TalkSport network. Our fourth live and exclusive commentary on game day, and a First League meeting between Brentford and Liverpool for nearly 75 years. The home team have made a stirring start to their first ever Premier League season, while the unbeaten visitors already look like genuine title contenders once again. The two sides, Rea in goal for Brentford, Ayer, Janssen and Pivot the back three, Canos, Onyeka, Norgard, Janelt and Henry in midfield, Tony and Mbumo up front. For Liverpool, Alisson is the goalkeeper, Alexander-Arnold, Matip, Van Dijk and Robertson the back four, Jones, Fabinho and Henderson in midfield, Salah, Jota and Mane the three furthest forward. David Connolly, you played at the old Griffin Park, you didn't play here. It's an extraordinary atmosphere, isn't it? I mean, you and I have been here a couple of times, but this is something else from a Brentford perspective.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they built a perfect arena, you think. I think certainly they size it just right. It's always going to be packed every home game. The fans are really close to the pitch. It's fantastic. You're probably, 6-7 metres away, you know, that first row of seats, which is really important. You can almost see or touch the subs bench here. We're that close to it. You've got a perfect view. And it is a really wonderful football stadium. It's just pitched absolutely perfect.
And what a day we've had across the Premier League so far. Manchester City winners at Chelsea live on TalkSport earlier. Aston Villa winners over Manchester United with Bruno Fernandes missing an injury time penalty. Everton 2, Norwich 0 a final score, so Norwich pointless still so far this season. West Ham late winners at Leeds by 2-1. Draws between Watford and Newcastle, and Leicester against Burnley. It is a game day that has been centred on the northwest and the capital in particular, from Stamford Bridge to Old Trafford to Goodison Park and now to the Brentford Community Stadium. And a monster game day continues right here on TalkSport. We're a few moments from getting underway. Both sets of players walking towards the edges of the centre circle. The two captains head-to-head, Jordan Henderson and Pontus Jansson. The coin toss has been done involving the referee Stuart Atwell, and not a single seat unoccupied. It feels a lot bigger than just over 17,000 the Brentford Community Stadium. And in fact, David Connolly, there's a large apartment block above the end to the right-hand side, and I can see people on their own balcony watching the game take place. A free ticket from above.
Yeah, not a bad spot that, Joe. You wouldn't mind one of those flats, I'm sure.
If only. Okay, so Liverpool will get us underway here on TalkSport's game day, playing from right to left in the opening half, all in their change strip, their yellow strip. Brentford in the red and white striped shirts, black shorts and black socks, playing from left to right. The game begins and game day continues here, live and exclusive on TalkSport. We own Saturdays, and an early touch for Andy Robertson on the near side, the Liverpool left. Our commentary position just to the right of the halfway line, only 10 to 15 rows up from the near side touchline. Jurgen Klopp is probably 20 feet away from us with his dark baseball cap on, and Liverpool go all the way back to Alisson, who hammers the clearance high over the halfway line. It's beyond the head of Sadio Mane and out of play for a throw to Brentford on the near side of the field. Brentford have started with 8 points from 5 Premier League matches, bettered by only 7 newly promoted sides in league history so far, Premier League history that is. But David Connolly, this is a different kind of task for them altogether against this Liverpool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're going to have to play really, really well. And just looking at how they're setting up, they got Onyeka just latching onto Fabinho in midfield. The two holders just going man for man, Janelt and Norgard. and it's going to be a real battle in that middle of the park, make no mistake. We just see Tony at times, we saw this last season in the Championship as well, at times not play right up against the centre halves, just drop in and play as a little bit like a number 10, and that's what he's doing now. Interestingly, he's just latched on, turning around Jordan Henderson. Here he is on the ball, and Onyeka then has gone up top, just playing on the last man, so a little bit of clever tactic there from Thomas Frank.
Good interception by Fabinho on halfway, and now Salah finding Mane, who goes back into his own half, and Joel Matip with the long-sleeved yellow shirt on, his 100th Premier League appearance for Liverpool tonight, and of course Mo Salah just a goal away from a landmark 100 Premier League goals in a Liverpool shirt. As Tony slips on halfway, good industry from Curtis Jones to win back possession, his first league start of the season, sets up Jota to his left-hand side, 2 minutes played in the game, Brentford 0, Liverpool 0, live on TalkSports Game Day. And now Alexander-Arnold, back from illness tonight in the Liverpool side, wearing number 66. Salah tries to knock the ball in field. It's come back to Alexander-Arnold via deflection. Lots of red and white striped shirts in front of him. Liverpool playing towards the home end here in the first half. Robertson with a cross, and Mane couldn't get there. Goalkeeper Raya was stretching, didn't get a touch on it, I don't think. The ball has gone all the way to the far side of the field, and Henderson finds Alexander-Arnold. Here is Joel Matip at the lip of the centre circle, and Liverpool have made a blistering start to this game, David Conley.
Yeah, and that all came from Tony just slipping. I hope he's got studs on, because they've been watering that pitch. It's really greasy. He just slipped at the vital moment, lost possession. Brilliant give and go. The 1-2 between the two fullbacks, Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold. The first time ball from Trent was absolutely brilliant in behind. Maybe just a cross, you would say, for Robertson. Might be better, a little bit lower along the ground.
Liverpool are unbeaten in their last 15 Premier League matches, going back to that defeat at Anfield by Fulham on March the 7th. Feels such a long time ago now. Liverpool appear to have their mojo back. They already look like genuine Premier League title contenders, and a victory tonight would take them at least temporarily 3 points clear of the chasing pack. Loud noise at the Brentford Community Stadium. Van Dijk crossfield out to the far side. What a lovely ball for Salah, the bearded Salah, who takes it in his stride and drifts infield, tries reverse ball towards Mane, smuggled away to Mbeumo for Brentford. Bald-headed on that far side of the field, Mbeumo, very tricky player, scored the second goal in the victory away at Wolves in the Premier League last weekend. That was Brentford's first Premier League away victory. Liverpool dominating possession so far in these opening stages, but the noise cranks up another level as Brentford press high into opposition territory. I can see Thomas Frank, the Brentford head coach, just to the left of the halfway line, the Dane, in a t-shirt and jeans, very casually dressed. And these are two of the most entertaining and charismatic managers that the Premier League can boast, David Conley.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking at them, obviously they've got to be really concentrating these opening stages, Brentford. Just sitting in, try not to offer that space in behind, but be really aggressive if there is a little bit of a misplaced pass. So important these early stages for Brentford if they want to keep it tight.
Here is Alexander-Arnold on the far side of the field. That's a great ball down the right, floated high towards Salah. Salah controls, turns on a sixpence. Henderson's first time cross. Curtis Jones was in there. Good brave header away by Christopher Ayer, who's gone down, and immediately the referee and Curtis Jones signal for the Brentford physio to run onto the field. Ayer is hurt here and will have to receive some treatment. The game is stopped, 5 gone, and it's goalless.
Yeah, it's a brave challenge here from Ayer, because he's come across as the right-sided centre-half of the three, almost to the middle of the goal, and he had to, because Curtis Jones had a free header, put his head right in it, and obviously got there just in front of Curtis Jones, so he is down. That's a painful one for him. Fingers crossed he's okay here. He is lying on his back. And I just look, Ivan Toney's come over, maybe, I just wonder, I think he might have come over to the side and said, get me my studs. There was a lot of water gone on that pitch, and he's lost his footing a couple of times, and it'll be interesting if he does change those boots.
Ayer now sitting up. How common is that, Dave? That you put the wrong studs on, you get the wrong footwear on.
Well, let's just see if he does, because, they had so much water going on because they won a quick game. Actually, that'll probably suit Liverpool. And when you're a front man, that ball comes into you, as it did in the first moment or two, and he slipped and lost possession, and they haven't really seen it since. So you've got to make sure you've got the right footwear on.
David Conley, former Ireland striker, alongside me. DC, who, if you missed in our pre-match build-up, actually got off at the old Griffin Park, the bus stop.
All right, don't rub it in. There was no one on. I was so early. There was no one on. There was no fans here yet. So I just was going down memory lane, nostalgic trip. And
I'm sure he scored a few goals on that ground in years gone by. There are new surroundings these days for Brentford. Ira's gone off to the near side of the field. He's been waved back on, so it's 0-0 and the game can resume. Brentford 0, Liverpool 0 on TalkSport with Now. Don't forget, with a Now's at Sports Day membership, you can watch Brentford v Liverpool live right now on Sky Sports for just $9.99 without a contract. Search Now Sports. Canos, the former Liverpool player, the right wing-back for Brentford, who's been ever present in that position so far this season, sends it back to the Spanish goalkeeper Raya, all in dark blue. His clearance dropping high and deep into the Liverpool half, headed away by Joel Matip in centre defence, and now Janelt, a formidable physical presence in that Brentford midfield, sliding in on Jones, but Joss has popped it through the middle, and suddenly Mane, and Salah is clear on goal, and it's off the line. Mane turns the rebound into the side netting. An extraordinary escape for Brentford. What a remarkable clearance from Christopher Raya to deny Mohamed Salah his 100th Premier League goal for Liverpool. Somehow it's 0-0 and Liverpool have a corner.
Yeah, fantastic clearance here off the line from Raya, who just got back on the pitch actually after having to go off for treatment. Lovely little ball through to Ndego Yota. Salah's onto it, but the little poke finish from Salah just didn't quite have the legs, didn't have the pace to go over the line, but nonetheless, fantastic recovery tackle, well, clearance there from Raya.
Salah had done the job, or at least he thought so, poked it through the legs of the goalkeeper, and Raya stretching, using all of his tall frame, those long telescopic legs, to somehow hook it away from the goal mouth, and somehow it's 0-0, and in fact Brentford actually have been given a goal kick away to the left hand side. So Brentford escape, that's the first real chance of the game so far on TalkSport. 03717 223344 for game day your verdict with Faye and Gabby Agbonlahor. Once we're done here, Gabby will be happy with Aston Villa's win at Old Trafford earlier today, live on TalkSport 2. And Bumo for Brentford, far side of the field. He's got his socks rolled down halfway down his shins. Left-footed delivery. Tony's header flashes just wide of the goal. Alisson was almost statuesque, and Ivan Toney darting it at the near post. 2 goals and assist in his last 3 Premier League matches. Very nearly had another goal to add to his collection.
Yeah, brilliant ball in. He actually should have been offside. I think Andy Robertson was a little bit too deep here, but this starts with fantastic. This is a tactical ploy here from Thomas Frank. What they do on goal kicks, they put Ethan Pinnock almost as a winger. He goes up against Trent Alexander-Arnold, wins the flick on, and then 1 or 2 passes later, they're putting the ball into the box. And that starts with Pinnock going playing as the highest one to win the first flick.
And here's Mbumo again, edge of the penalty area, knocks the ball in field, and it's hammered over the top. And it's another great opportunity that's gone begging for Brentford. Frank Onyeka was lurking right at the heart of the 18-yard box, and from almost point-blank range, he smashes the ball over the top on the half volley, and Brentford have seen two really good chances go begging in the space of a minute. It's still Brentford 0, Liverpool 0.
Yeah, should have hit the target. Comes back to it again, Tony. This time he's the one that goes in. Yeah, a little bit of route one from Brentford, but there's nothing wrong with that. If they put Pinnock up there to win the first flick, or Ivan Toney, they've won that now, and they pick up the second balls, and obviously they've got runners in behind, and Bumo, Onyeka. I think Onyeka will be disappointed. He didn't make the goalkeeper work. He was only about 8 yards out, blazed it over the bar.
Not scored for Brentford. Frank Onyeka, brought in from Midtjylland in the summer, played twice against Liverpool in the Champions League last season. And Brentford's last win over Liverpool, you have to go back to 1938 in the old First Division. And Brentford have made a positive start. There have been chances at both ends, still scoreless. Ball floated forward towards Toney, hooked away over his shoulder by Joel Matip from the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Now Alexander-Arnold will drive the ball down the middle, looking for Salah. Goalkeeper Raya was quick of his line to clear. Frenetic atmosphere, and what a flick from Toney to set up and Bumo! Beyond the goalkeeper, off the line by Matip this time. A carbon copy of what happened at the other end as Toney shoots, turned away at the near post by Fabinho, and we've seen Salah denied by a last-ditch clearance, and now Mbumo likewise, and Liverpool are on the counter. Mane to the edge of the D, can't find Mo Salah with the ball. Eventually it does fall to the Egyptian via deflection. Absolutely breathless start on TalkSport. 0-0 the score somehow. Robertson on the left-hand side crosses, turned away at the near post by Christopher Raya. A frantic feverish pace to the game, matched by the atmosphere in the stands. And David Connolly, I don't believe what we've just seen. We've just seen exactly what happened to Salah happened to Mbeumo at the other end.
Yeah, again though, the finish from Mbeumo this time didn't quite have the pace to take it across the line, but Tony's with the flick on. This is not just any old flick on, it's a guided header into his strike partner. Absolutely brilliant little guided downward header, and Mbeumo's onto it. I think if he goes with his right foot here, I think he scores. Instead, he just adjusts his body, tries to play it over the goalkeeper with his left, and it doesn't quite have the angle or the legs. He was unlucky.
Well, to say that it's been an open start to a game involving two of the Premier League's best defences would be an understatement. What a bit of defending from Joel Matip this time. Towering header on halfway from the Brentford captain Janssen. The ball met by Van Dijk's headed clearance, and now Henderson chips it into opposition territory. Goalkeeper Raya out quickly to clear once again, and now Raya drives the clearance downfield through the bright early evening sky, and it's into the gloves of the goalkeeper for Liverpool, all in green, Alisson.
Yeah, and I think that we've seen a couple of examples. I mean, we have to cut off here with some of the attack Liverpool. We've seen a couple of examples of Brentford's direct play, and that's what they've got now with the likes of Tony, which they didn't have before with Watkins and Benrahma.
Here is Alexander-Arnold, corner of the penalty area, gets it back, does it from Henderson? No, Janelt was there to steer it away for Brentford, and now Rico Henry, the diminutive left wing back, gives it away to Van Dijk on the halfway line. Van Dijk immediately goes crossfield to Robertson on this near side. Such vigour and tempo from both sides. Terrific football on show. Brentford 0, Liverpool 0, though it could easily be 2-2 possibly, or 3-2 even to Brentford with the chances that we've had, David Connolly.
Yeah, it's been a really good game so far, end to end. I mean, on the turnover, both sides look a little bit vulnerable because they commit so many players going forward.
Here is Robertson now in the left-back position for Liverpool. The WSL returns for TalkSport Network tomorrow with two commentaries on TalkSport 2. At 12:30, Manchester United against Chelsea, and at 6:45, Arsenal against Manchester City. And the Champions League is back from Tuesday, including Paris Saint-Germain against Manchester City on TalkSport and Porto against Liverpool on TalkSport 2. We're ticking towards the quarter of an hour mark. The floodlights on at the Brentford Community Stadium. Here is Alexander-Arnold, back to Henderson just inside opposition territory.
Jurgen Klopp is just on the side there gesticulating, quicker, he wants the ball moved across the pitch a lot quicker, a lot earlier.
For the first time in the game really, we were at walking pace as Jones pings a crossfield ball high through the air, headed away by Henry in the left back position, out of play for a Liverpool throw on the far side of the field. The north stand, single tiered, it sweeps around to reach the ends behind each goal, and the main stand that we're sat in here is by far the tallest in the ground. You can see it from the M4 motorway as you drive up. Here is Robertson again just inside opposition territory. Liverpool have dominated possession in the game so far.
The fullbacks aren't as high and wide as I thought they would be. And I think that's a sign of respect for how Brentford play, especially with that front two. Robertson is holding his position. If one of them goes, the other one tucks around a little bit, so they're not quite as expansive as I thought.
Curtis Jones, middle of midfield, plays a ball forward 5 yards to Henderson. Back now to Alexander-Arnold, deep inside opposition territory. Salah hugging that far side touchline, comes in field, sets up Jones inside the penalty area. Angle is tight, lots of red and white shirts around him. Pops it back to Alexander-Arnold. Slide tackle from Janelt, who's won the ball back again with great industry on that far side of the field. Henderson right by the corner flag, and those Brentford fans behind the goal. Goes back 15 yards to Jones. Jones finds Fabinho 10 yards into opposition territory. Now Virgil van Dijk strokes it left to Robertson. And now Jota back to Robertson on the near side of the field. Liverpool all in yellow tonight. Brentford trying to keep pace with them. 0-0 the score. Salah's left-footed delivery too close to the goalkeeper, who takes it easily right.
Yeah, it's unlucky. Nice idea from Salah, just playing the ball with the outside of his boot, looking for Mane, but good goalkeeping from Raya.
Absolute mass of Brentford fans behind that goal to the left-hand side. Brentford, who've only conceded twice in the Premier League so far this season. Liverpool's record is even better than that. Van Dijk gets in front of Mbeumo. Van Dijk much the taller of the two players. Mbeumo does enough to at least force Van Dijk to make the clearance, and it is a Liverpool throw in the right back position in front of the 1,700 travelling fans.
Yeah, but again, Ivan Toney's won the first flick on. Brilliant play from him. Then they just gamble in behind, try and keep it alive, and from their own box, own 6-yard box with a kick. Obviously they pegged Liverpool back to in and around their own penalty box, and that's what Tony gives you, which, you know, look, Brentford previously with the, you know, with the centre forwards Neil Maupay and Ollie Watkins, they didn't really have that outlet, but they use it so well with Ivan Toney.
It's a lovely warm September evening, bright sunshine in Alisson's goal mouth away to the right hand side. He's just put his hand in front of his eyes to shield himself from the setting sun. Rest of the pitch is in shade. Jota looking for Mane, 30 yards out. Deflection finds Jones. Jones floats the ball forward into the penalty area. Pinnock towers to head away. Salah was trying to nip in behind him. Pinnock, the giant defender, got just enough on it. It's come back to Alexander-Arnold. Whoever hits his cross, the ball flies out of play, out into the front row of the West Stand to the left-hand side. It's a goal kick to Brentford. 17 minutes gone. 0-0 on TalkSport. And here's the former Premier League and EFL striker David Connolly.
Well, it's a big back three they've got in there, Brentford, and at times when Liverpool look up, that time it was Trent Alexander-Arnold. Before that, Mo Salah. They look in the box and they put a couple of balls in. They probably overhit them because they're looking at the size of that back three, and they might just need to vary their service into the box. It's going to be hard, you think. Yeah, I know obviously they score so many goals from deliveries, but it's going to be hard against that front three unless they vary that service a little bit lower maybe, or little cutbacks.
There's still that element of unpredictability about Brentford. Even now, 6 games into the Premier League season, they caused a real stir here on the opening night of the campaign with that famous victory over Arsenal. They have a couple of cracking home games to come, Brentford, including a clash against Chelsea live on TalkSport in a handful of weeks' time. Here is Toney, just inside opposition territory, getting it through from Bumo. He's onside, left-hand edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Checks back away from Alexander-Arnold, looked like he was fouled. Referee says no penalty. VAR will be having a look at it. Thomas Frank has gone to sit back down inside his seat in the dugout. No real appeals from him. What did you make of it, Dave?
Well, I mean, again, fantastic play from Ivan Toney, this time with the ball on the deck. Terrific first touch, takes it infield, looks to play it out wide to the right, reverses it into Mbeumo, made a lovely little diagonal run into the box, and he did just check back on Trent, but I don't know, didn't look like there was that much contact from here.
Raya drives the clearance high downfield. That's a terrific header away by Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk and Matip just sandwiching themselves in front of Ivan Toney.
There's not many teams that will go and play two up top against Liverpool and cause them this many problems. It's been superb from Brentford so far.
Is that a sign of the confidence?
Yes.
Dave, and it's not just that newly promoted confidence, is it? There's a sense from Brentford, from their supporters and the wider Premier League, if you like, that they are at home at this level potentially.
Absolutely. Well, look, I mean, their Baptiste sent off last week against Wolves and they still retain two up top. You know, change your shape to 4, and that we saw that in the Championship. So, you know, Thomas Frank is not deviating from his way, his philosophy of playing, even when they're down to 10. So, you know, they complement each other really well. You know, Toney and Mbeumo, they really do.
Shannon Baptiste, who David Connolly mentioned, served his ban after that sending off against Wolves last weekend. He served it in midweek when Brentford put 7 past League to Oldham here in the Carabao Cup on Tuesday night, so he is among the subs today. Roberto Firmino on a very strong looking Liverpool bench. Diogo Jota having to take on water here, and he's being led to the near side by the Liverpool physio. He was clattered into rather by Vitaly Janelt on the near side of the field a few moments ago, and the game has been stopped here as we tick towards the 20-minute mark. Liverpool have got substitutes warming up in front of us here in this compact new stadium full of character despite all of its modernity. It's Brentford 0, Liverpool 0 for the latest odds. Head to Betfair, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage. As Mane takes the ball down, 25 yards from goal, he gets past Norgard too, almost plays a lovely reverse pass to the feet of Jota, but it was a good interception by Ayer, who was then caught by the challenge of Henderson, and it will be a free kick to Brentford midway inside their half of the field. The odds, by the way, right now, you can get Brentford at 11-2, Liverpool at 1-2, the draw at 3-1. That's all thanks to Betfair, where you'll get no cash out suspensions on match odds on football. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Nice little foot in there from Ayer. I mean, he's had a very good start so far, and obviously, you know, if you're going to get something against Liverpool, you know that back unit have got to play well, and Ayer's been superb. Just read that little ball from Mane, just trying to slip it through to Jota.
For 0-0, it's been thrilling so far. You have to wonder whether the pace of the game across the course of the 90 minutes can live up to what we've seen in the first 20. As Pinnock wins a throw for Brentford on the far side of the field. Loud applause from the supporters around him. Lots of replica shirts, red and white on show today, and all around the stadium there are banners that spell out things like Bees Together. Brentford's nickname the Bees, of course. Here is Ayer drifting into the centre circle over the halfway line, looks to knock it through the middle towards Tony. Allison had to be very quick off his line to hack that one away because Tony looked to have the pace to reach it initially. Brentford meanwhile have gone all the way back to Canos in the right wing back position. Mentioned earlier the former Liverpool player made just a single substitute appearance in his time at the club, and Mbumo will roll the ball back to goalkeeper David Raya, whose clearance hangs up in the air just inside the Liverpool half. Van Dijk's header to knock it clear. Canos slices the ball off his right foot. It's going to land in the crowd on the near side, and the spectators actually headed that back into play, David Conley.
Yeah, it was a good little header back there. Would have been proud of that one myself.
Forward by Matic into opposition territory, way by Ayer. Midway through the first half on Talk Sport, still goalless. Thomas Frank, you would feel, will be the happier of the two bosses so far. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, just looking at Curtis Jones, he's strong as well. I mean, he's powerful. He's a bigger boy than I thought. You know, he's a couple of times he's just put Tony on the deck there, and he's had a good start. Brings a lot of energy to that Liverpool midfield.
Salah out on that far side of the field, the Liverpool right, all left foot, goes infield towards Alexander-Arnold. The pass is over hits, and Mbumo will simply knock it back to the feet of Christian Norgard, who's given it away. Alexander-Arnold with a deep first-time cross towards Mane, who was lurking at the far post. Ayer had to really stretch and use his neck muscles to angle that header clear, and now Canos steps in field, knocks an intelligent ball forward to Tony, goes down under the challenge of Van Dijk just inside the Liverpool half, and despite loud appeals the referee says no, and Fabinho looks long for Salah straight away. What a raking ball that was. Ethan Pinnock flicks the header clear, it's gone behind, it's a Liverpool corner, and you're listening to Game Day live and exclusive on Talk Sport.
Yeah, at this moment in time, you know, Brentford's outside centre halves are stretching every sinew just to get their head on it. Nearly in a couple of times there, Liverpool with that longer pass. I mean, there aren't too many teams that play longer passes than Liverpool, and it's interesting. They've got so many goals from set pieces. We saw it last week. They only really put four in the box. They ring the edge as he up.
Alexander-Arnold's right-footed out-swinging delivery. Van Dijk with the header. It's going to flash away from goal. Cleared by Canos for Brentford up to the halfway line. 5 goals from set plays so far this season for Liverpool, all from corners. And here is Fabinho, midway inside opposition territory. Nobody in red and white making a move towards him. Uncontested possession, floated in by Jones, and it's through to Raya. Loud cheers from the Brentford fans behind the goal to the left-hand side.
Well, he still had Van Dijk in the box there, and maybe that was the wrong choice from Curtis Jones, cutting field with his left peg, but again, it's into the arms of David Raya. And maybe he was just invited to do that because Van Dijk was still up from the corner, but not the best ball in.
Well, Jurgen Klopp, who's got his arms behind his back, about 20 foot in front of us at the front of the main stand, was very complimentary about Brentford in the build-up, and Tony has sent Mbumo clear inside the penalty area. Good save by Allison with his legs, and then belatedly, as we expected to be the case, because Mbumo looked offside by some distance, the flag does go up, and Jurgen Klopp is, I think quite rightly, making the point to the fourth official, John Brooks. Why not just put the flag up early, David?
Well, that was a directive. I mean, that was clearly a good yard offside there.
It is a directive, but it's a directive that doesn't make sense, does it, in those sorts of moments? As Curtis Jones miscontrols, the ball out of play for a Brentford throw right in front of our commentary position, midway inside the Liverpool half. No Thiago for Liverpool this evening, out with a calf problem, and Naby Keita not involved either. Tony, with his hair tied back, muscular Tony, holds the ball up, wins a free kick in the right wing position for Brentford. Terrific strength from Ivan Tony.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's so strong. It takes two there to try and get the ball off him, and he's had a really good start, and it will give him confidence as well. A couple of misplaced passes and touches from some Liverpool players.
Thomas Frank, the Brentford head coach, followed Liverpool. He was a childhood supporter of the club back in the 1980s. He says partly because of Jan Molby, of course, the The Dane, the former Liverpool midfield, one of the great players of the great Liverpool sides of the 1980s. Free kick on the near side to Brentford. Jan Elst is standing over it. 20 forward in red and white. Everybody back for Liverpool. Jan Elst will play the ball square to Norgard. Norgard steers it down the right hand side. Canos collects, crosses in low, and it's going to be turned in. It is Onyeka. Brentford lead, and it's Ethan Pinnock knocking at the back post to tap it over the line. The easiest goal he will ever score. His first in the Premier League, and Brentford, are they about to cause another great shock here? They lead Liverpool by a goal to nil, and it was a goal right off the training ground.
It's such a well-worked routine, this is. Absolutely off the training ground. Jan Elst fakes to deliver the ball deep into the box, plays it short, I think it's to Norgard. He spins it round the corner into Canos, and you think, I thought he should have crossed it first time. So hard to take that out the sky, running towards the end to the goal line. Took a touch brilliantly in his stride and just managed to get it across the box. Tony with a little flick, gets a slight touch on it, takes it past Alisson, and there's Pinnock at the far post just to bundle it home from a yard out.
It's a special moment. Ethan Pinnock, who scored the first ever goal at the Brentford Community Stadium, has scored one of the most remarkable goals ever seen at this ground. Brentford 1, Liverpool 0 on Talk Sports. And the man who started his career in non-league at Dulwich Hamlets, what a remarkable rise. It almost encapsulates the Brentford rise up the divisions in some senses. Of course, Brentford have been a Football League club for such a long time, but do they deserve it, David Cobb?
Absolutely they do. You know, and this is a goal they've scored so many from set pieces down the years, Brentford, and we just touched on Liverpool's prowess at set pieces and corners, but Brentford obviously were one of the first of a set piece specialist. They had a set piece coach for a number of seasons, and that was a routine that has been, time spent on that on the training ground, and it's come off.
28 minutes played, Liverpool 1-0 down, free kick whipped in by Robertson towards the far post. Pinnock, the goal scorer, is there to just glance the ball behind in front of Virgil van Dijk, and Liverpool have won their second corner of the game. Brentford 1, Liverpool 0 as we tick towards the half-hour mark, live and exclusive on Talk Sports.
What they need to do now, Brentford, is just obviously keep the lead for a little bit longer. They don't want to concede yet, and obviously Liverpool really good at set pieces, but Brentford are so big. Look at the marking here, they've got the size here to defend this.
Alexander-Arnold, right-footed, lofted, out-swinging delivery, headed away. Again, it was Pinnock who was there. Henderson with a great ball on the half volley, back out wide to Alexander-Arnold, and the assistant puts that lime green flag up into the air, and it's a free kick to Brentford, which they want to take quickly, but the referee Stuart Atwell isn't going to allow them to do so, and that's because there's a Brentford player actually down injured inside the 18-yard box, and again it's that man Pinnock whose goal separates the two sides.
Yeah, and another, we talk obviously about recruitment here and Ivan Toney, but Ethan Pinnock was outstanding for Barnsley, part of that Barnsley team in League One which had the best defence, and recruited from there. It's been a superb signing for them. Fingers crossed he's okay. Got the first goal here, didn't he, in the stadium? I think we were here for that game.
Here, yeah. Behind closed doors.
Yep.
In a League Cup tie against Wycombe. Now the Brentford Community Stadium is packed. 17,000 here under the floodlights. And Brentford looking for really what would be one of their great league victories, and certainly even despite the wins over Arsenal here and away at Wolves last weekend, if they could beat Liverpool, would be their best win of their first ever Premier League season so far, but there's a long way to go.
Well, Ivan Toney's won another flick on from a goal kick, and he's just positioning himself up against Matip rather than Van Dijk. He's going over towards that side. He obviously fancies himself in the air against Matip.
Salah down the right hand side for Liverpool. He shapes to cut in field. He's got Henderson in support. Lots of space for Henderson to cross from the right. Jota's header! 1-1! Diogo Jota equalises for Liverpool, and Brentford's lead didn't last long, did it? Jota with his first goal in 5 appearances. It was a header that he really couldn't miss. 6 yards out, nods it down beyond the goalkeeper. Liverpool will feel that normal service is resumed, and it's Brentford 1, Liverpool 1.
Well, this starts with Van Dijk with a really strong challenge on Tony, wins possession, gives it to Trent Alexander-Arnold. What a pass he plays with his left peg from the right back position out wide to Salah, feeds it to Henderson on the overlap, and it's a brilliant ball in. I mean, it's got to be on the money to get beyond that big back three, and it is. Terrific downward header though from Jota right into the corner. You might say, for all his brilliant play so far, he probably lost the smallest forward on the pitch in the box.
That's 31 minutes on Talk Sport. David Connolly and Joe Shannon, your commentary team in West London. It's now 1-1, and Liverpool have a throw on the near side. Brentford furious, fans out of their seats all around us. They feel they should have had a free kick in the build-up to that throw, but Liverpool take it, and suddenly the noise quietens down, and suddenly the complexion of the game has changed. We said there was a long way to go, and you've got to be so good to keep a lead against this Liverpool side there.
Yeah, you do. When we spoke about that just at the set piece, could they have kept it for another little bit longer? Good response though from Liverpool.
The ball is hooked high downfield by Alexander-Arnold, away by Janssen, not entirely convincingly, but a lovely twist and turn from first Pinnock and then Norgard, and Brentford keep possession, and now Janelt is crossing the halfway line. Henry to his left-hand side, looks through the middle to Mbeumo, and Mbeumo flicks it towards Tony, punched away by the goalkeeper Alisson, safety first, rushing to the edge of his 6-yard box, knocks it away with 2 strong fists, and out of play it goes for a Brentford throw on the far side of the field, led with the edge of the penalty.
I mean, Brentford's front two are I was a boyhood Liverpool fan. It's like Rush and Dalglish all over again, those two linking up, so little balls into him, spinning them around the corner. I mean, they dovetail and work so well. They really do. Try and find each other, and invariably nearly always comes off.
Plenty forward for Brentford for what was shaping up to be a long throw. Instead it's taken short to Janelt, and now Onyeka will drive the ball crossfield to the far side. Norgard, who scored in the opening night winner for Arsenal, trying to get on the end of it, but the ball is out of play. It's a goal kick to Liverpool. You're listening to Brentford 1, Liverpool 1 on Talk Sport with WeBuyAnyCar.com. Get a quote in 60 seconds at WeBuyAnyCar.com. And here are the thoughts of David Connolly after what has been a breathless first 33 minutes.
Well, that was really unlucky again from Brentford. I mean, they deceived, faked to launch the ball into the box, took the throw short, and then worked the ball out onto the other side. It nearly came off for Norgard. So again, just really bright play that comes on time on the training ground.
Clipped down the left-hand touchline, high by Robertson, brilliantly chested down by Mane, and Mane has spun away from 3 in red and white. He knocks the ball square to Alexander-Arnold on the right-hand side, sizes up a shot, takes a big deflection, loops up into the air. Mane takes a touch. Henderson allowed to control inside the penalty area. Wide to Robertson. First time cross blocked by Canos. Corner to Liverpool, who all of a sudden are all over Brentford like a rash.
Yeah, they've just got to weather this little storm for a minute.
The corner is at the west stand end of the ground, populated by Brentford fans, almost all of whom seem to be standing on their feet, the setting sun behind them. Robertson with the deep corner towards Matip at the far post. It's headed away, comes out to Fabinho on the edge of the box, and Tony cleverly, I think, got the shout from his goalkeeper Raya, you to just duck and let it fly over his head, and it's gone behind for a goal kick to Brentford.
Well, this is what they do well on their corners, Liverpool. If they don't win the first ball up, they ring the edge of the box, and then they put it. Let's have a look at. I think Ethan Pinnock is struggling.
Well, it's a great shame for the goal scorer, but he went down a few moments ago after a header clear inside his own penalty area following a Liverpool corner, and he's now sitting down out on the field of play, and it looks as though Brentford are indeed going to be forced into a change here. They do have the centre-half Zanka, formerly of Huddersfield and has played in the Premier League before, on the subs bench, but what a great shame it would be for Ethan Pinnock if he is to be forced off. A goal that had given Brentford the lead. Of course, Diogo Jota's equaliser for Liverpool has made it 1-1, but Brentford don't want to take any chances, Dave, with somebody who will be an integral part of their squad this season.
No, they won't, but this will be a real test for them, because just discussing before we came on air about this sort of small, close-knit squad they've got, Brentford, and it's been like that for a number of seasons, and they haven't got the biggest depth. I remember talking to Kevin O'Connor last season, the first team coach, and he was saying, look, we're doing well, but we don't have that depth that you'd really want. And it's going to be a big ask here for Zanka to come on, because look, this team that they select, normally you can tell what side Brentford are going to play every week. It doesn't really have the depth, but...
Well, Zanka's actually put his bib back on, and he's going to carry on warming up, and Pinnock is going to be led across to the far side, and I wonder whether Brentford are going to see if he can run off whatever this injury is, and they're going to try and see if he can continue.
Well, he's so important for them. As I said, that this team more or less picks itself.
Brentford 1, Liverpool 1. Early today in the Premier League on game day, Manchester City 1-0 winners live on TalkSport at Chelsea. On TalkSport 2, we brought you Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 1, and Everton 2, Norwich 0. A great win for West Ham at Leeds United. Mikel Antonio with a late winner. And Watford 1, Newcastle 1, Leicester 2, Burnley 2. Jamie Vardy scoring 3 times in that game, once at the wrong end. The other results. And Bumo down the left-hand side for Brentford. Teases the ball to the edge of the penalty area, and Henry. And now Janelt crosses left-footed on Yeka with a looping header that's going to land on the roof of the net. And it's a goal kick to Liverpool. Thomas Frank and Jurgen Klopp side by side on the near side touchline. Who will be the happier?
I mean, it's a tough one. I think certainly Thomas Frank will be, in terms of how they've played. They've been absolutely brilliant. They have so far. Maybe one criticism might be, obviously, they didn't get that extra, maybe could have got another goal, or could have tried to keep the lead for a little bit longer, but it's so hard against this side. And when they turn the ball over, Liverpool, they do attack so quickly.
Long ball from Raya, the goalkeeper, high downfield. Virgil van Dijk is there to head it clear. The Liverpool number 4, who was so missed last season. Norgard threading it down the left very neatly. Opportunity for Henry on that far side of the field, right in front of the Liverpool supporters. He crosses right-footed. Tony tries to chest it down. Canos is in there against his old club. Tried to hook it goalwards with his back to goal. Mane was there helping out defensively for Liverpool, and he got just enough of a nick on it to deflect it away for a Brentford throw deep inside the Liverpool half.
Yes, superb ball in, this time from Henry, dragging it onto his right peg, and Pinnock's on. He's probably going to launch this into the box. He's got a long throw. That is a weapon that Liverpool brought in a throwing coach, and Brentford have used it. Normally Dalsgaard is the one that would chuck this in, but Pinnock's got a long throw too.
Well, Zanka is stripped and ready to come on should Brentford need him, and should Ethan Pinnock have to go off. We've had 38 minutes of play. It's 1-1, and Pinnock shaping up to hurl this one in long from the near side touchline. It's not a good throw. Headed away by Robertson easily. Comes out to Canos on the edge of the box. Plays it back to Janelt. Janelt steers the ball to the near side, and Pinnock, deep in swinging ball, headed away by Joel Matip, and the offside flag up. I think there were 2 in Brentford red and white who might have been offside there. And Liverpool get the free kick, and they take it quickly. And here is Sadio Mane darting forward from the middle of the Brentford half up to the edge of the penalty area. Wide to his right is Salah. Salah robbed the possession. Henderson has squeezed the pass over to Curtis Jones. It's the post. Jota on the rebound has somehow steered it wide. An extraordinary miss from Diogo Jota. The goalkeeper David Raya is getting all of the congratulations from his teammates, and it was an extraordinary touch from Raya to divert it wide for a corner.
Yeah, it looks like a brilliant save here. I mean, the strike from Curtis Jones just came off the base of the post, and then with the rebound, Jota, it looks like he's
taken short.
goal.
Van Dijk with the header. Goalkeeper's gone down to save, and David Raya with that crucial intervening touch, the former Blackburn goalkeeper. Otherwise, Liverpool would have been in the lead.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at Ethan Pinnock. I mean, this strike from Curtis Jones comes off the inside calf of Pinnock, and Pinnock, he's not moving well. I'll be amazed if he continues. But the save from Raya, the reaction save as he's on the deck, as the shot comes off the post, to get up so quickly, just get a little touch on that finish from Jota, superb.
I owe Diogo Jota an apology. That was an amazing save from Raya. Here is Mane looking to get on the end of a long ball floated through the middle, flicked away by Janssen for Brentford. Brentford 1, Liverpool 1 on TalkSport on game day. We have nearly reached the 40-minute mark. This is the first half, though. Nobody's moving a muscle all around the ground, and nobody wants this first half to come to an end. Robertson is just shy of the halfway line. Steers the ball infield to Fabinho. Back to Andy Robertson. And now Van Dijk midway inside his own half of the field. We've waited a long time for a league meeting between these two sides, and indeed a meeting in any competition. The last was back in 1989 in the FA Cup. Here is Henderson for Liverpool, lots of space to drive into, all in yellow. Henderson rolls the pass square to Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold's early ball towards Jota goes down inside the penalty area, just out-muscled by Ayer, the former Celtic defender, the club record signing at Brentford, and the ball is through to goalkeeper Raya again.
Yeah, and David Raya, I mean, he'll be really pleased, because that's the sort of drill or save that you would make 100 times in training. You know, you get down for the first strike, how quickly can you get back up for the second? It was superb. Yeah, look, Pinnock's gone down. I mean, he threw that ball in down here for the throw, and he could barely move. I'm surprised that he was actually allowed to continue, but this is him done now. There's no way he can continue.
Well, he looks pretty despondent, Ethan Pinnock, and you can understand why, but his race is run as far as this game is concerned, and the man who's been continuing to warm up on this near side touchline, Matthias Jurgensen, also known as Zanka, is the man who's going to take to the field. He's played in the Premier League before for Huddersfield and made his debut very recently in the win last weekend at Wolves. He made his first start for Brentford in the Carabao Cup against Oldham, and confirmation as the Brentford fans rise to their feet. Pinnock goes off and Zanka comes on. Regardless for Ethan Pinnock, that goal earlier on in the game, a moment he won't forget in a hurry, David Conley.
Yeah, and probably for Zanka, this will give him, he's got 5 minutes to half-time just to get used to the pace of the game. But for Brentford, losing someone as important as Ethan Pinnock is going to be a hard hole for Zanka to fill, make no mistake. Big part of that back three, he is, Pinnock.
Big handshake from Thomas Frank, the Brentford boss, for Ethan Pinnock, who now comes and makes his way down the tunnel. Zanka trots on, and Brentford have made that change. Thomas Frank watches with his arms folded. He was respectful, of course, of Liverpool in the build-up, but reiterated his confidence that Brentford have always got a chance in any game they play. Great flick by Tony, towering above Matip to find Mbumo on the far side, 5 yards from the corner flag. Back it goes to Henry, steered infield to Janelt. Janelt from the corner of the 18-yard box, in a crossing position, little flick to find Christian Norgard. Henry on his outside. Norgard tried to drive between two yellow shirts, has to go back to Zanka. First touch for the Dane who's just come on, and now Ayer on the halfway line for Brentford. Clips a crossfield ball, looking to get inside Alexander-Arnold, but he couldn't find Henry with the delivery. Alexander-Arnold is there for Liverpool from the right back position, feeds it forward 20 yards to Jones. Jones to the left, the near side, and Robertson, who immediately, explosive pace, drives into opposition territory. He's got Jones to his left. It's a wonderful run from Andy Robertson. He might go all the way here. He's blocked off by Onyeka. That's a foul. No question it'll be a yellow card. A sensational run through the middle from Andy Robertson, and Liverpool have a free kick right on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, fantastic marauding run. I mean, they got out of trouble there really well, Liverpool. Nice little speed run into the channel from Curtis Jones, just creates the gap for Robertson. He keeps going, eventually works his way to the edge of the box. There's a slight nudge from Onyeka, and this is in a really good position, about 2 yards outside the box, just to the left-hand side.
Well, which foot does it favour, David Codley, as we reached the final minutes of normal time at the end of the first half? I saw Trent Alexander-Arnold practicing free kicks in the warm-up. This free kick is just to the left of the D as we look at it.
It's quite close, so if he's going up and over, and Trent's got the ball at this moment in time, if he's going up and over, it's a big Brentford wall. Obviously Tony's in there, they've got some good height. So the issue, the challenge for Trent, if it is Trent that's going to take it, is getting it up and down in time. When you're that close to goal, it's a tough skill.
Salah and Henderson also over the ball for Liverpool. Jones is standing square and completely unmarked.
Well, they've kind of got a Liverpool wall, haven't they, just in front of the Brentford wall, maybe just trying to block David Raya's eye line.
This is a nervy moment in the game for Brentford. David Raya, who has kept the scores level with a brilliant save. 3 Liverpool players crowding around the ball. Salah, Henderson and Alexander-Arnold. 1-1 the score right at the end of the first period. boos and whistles from the Brentford fans. Free kick, left-hand edge of the penalty area, as Alexander-Arnold curls it right-footed over the top, and we're into 3 added minutes at the end of the first half.
Yeah, and I guess it was a slow run-up. I mean, he walked in terms of addressing the ball. I mean, Jurgen Klopp is not happy. I don't know whether, I mean, he's just screaming. He's berating him in terms of going for a bit more pace. There wasn't enough pace on that from Trent, that's what he's saying.
03717 22 33 44 for game day. Your verdict. Our post-match phone-in with Faye Carruthers and Gabby Agbon-Lahore once we're done here at the Brentford Community Stadium. 30 seconds into 3 additional minutes and the scores are level. Raya will take a goal kick for Brentford away to the left-hand side.
And he's aiming for Matip again, isn't he? He's aiming for Matip really rather than Tony. He's just putting on top of him, and look, Tony's won it again.
Above Matip. Robertson is there to sweep the ball clear up to the halfway line. Thomas Frank in conversation with the fourth official as Alexander-Arnold drives the ball long towards Mane. Mane clash with Janssen, and the free kick goes the way of Brentford. Sadio Mane not happy, but Stuart Atwell was adamant.
Well, I don't really know what's wrong with that. I mean, Mane, because he's probably half the size, he's got to go for the ball and challenge. Maybe slightly in the back, yeah, probably. Back of Janssen. But I mean, how good has Tony been in terms of winning these flick-ons? He just starts on the outside of Matip on his right-hand shoulder and just comes across him, and he's won every flick-on.
That long ball from Raya aimed at Tony yet again, headed away by Matip this time, just has to really stretch to beat Tony in the air. Ivan Toney, who contributes, it's easy to forget because he is such a prolific goal scorer, at least he was in the Championship last season, but he contributes so much more even than just goals.
Well, yeah, double assist, didn't he? He got at least 10 assists last season too. I saw him here put a brilliant ball in against Luton for Mbumo.
Here is Henry, far side the left for Brentford, wins a throw off Alexander-Arnold, and Brentford looking to finish the first half, the stronger of the two sides. This throw is just 10 yards or so from the corner flag in front of the Liverpool fans who are
that's interesting
on their feet.
Because the two centre-halves, they looked over to Thomas Frank as if to say, right, how long till half-time? Do you want us to go in the box for this long throw? And obviously Thomas wasn't looking at us, so all right, let's go in the box. So I imagine this is going to be thrown in, launched into the 6-yard.
Good spot, David Connolly. Zanka will take the long throw for Brentford, high towards the near post. Ayer climbing, good header away by Joel Matip for Liverpool, back in by Zanka. Henderson gets it away this time for the visitors, and Mane has knocked a great ball down the right towards Salah. Good pace from Henry to reach it. Terrific work from the defender, otherwise Salah would have been clean for on goal, and the Brentford fans celebrate it like they've scored a goal. 1-1 the score as the ball goes out to play, but it was a terrific intervention from Rico Henry.
Yeah, I think Salah was catching him, to be fair, but he just about had enough pace there, Rico.
Well, the half-time whistle goes. Take a breath. An extraordinary first 45 minutes. Great pace to the game. A flurry of chances at either end. 2 goals in the event. The score is 1-1. Ethan Pinnock with the first for Brentford, tapping home at the far post after a well-worked training ground routine style free kick. Canos steered the ball almost along the goal line, and Pinnock was there to tap home the first goal that Liverpool have conceded in open play in the Premier League so far this season. But Jurgen Klopp's side were not to be denied. Just 4 minutes later, Diogo Jota headed in an equaliser. He's since been denied by a wonderful save from the Brentford goalkeeper David Raya, and we have a thriller on our hands on TalkSport's Game Day. At the break, it is Brentford 1, Liverpool 1. Thank you, Faye. Well, the Brentford Community Stadium is still buzzing at half-time. We are sat right amongst the supporters, and we've had people come up to our commentary position and ask us about what we thought about incidents in the first half, and delighted how well Brentford have played. But Liverpool, through that equaliser from Jota, back on level terms, and the second half just moments away from starting. In fact, the game does resume. Brentford kick us off, playing from right to left in the second half in red and white striped shirts, black shorts and black socks. Liverpool from left to right, all in bright yellow. No changes for either side as the sun continues to set. A little chillier now. We've got Brentford fans walking right in front of our commentary position, carrying all sorts of pies and sausage rolls as they take their seats for the second period. The floodlights gleaming high up above, and Brentford with Raya in goal, Ayer, Zanka and Zanka and Janssen the back three. Remember, Pinnock, the goal scorer, had to go off injured in that first half. Canos, Onyeka, Norgard, Janelt and Henry, the midfield five, with Tony and Mbumo the furthest forward. Liverpool, Alisson in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Matip, Van Dijk and Robertson, Jones, Fabinho and Henderson, Salah, Jota and Mane the three furthest forward. The fourth live and exclusive commentary on this monster game day across the TalkSport network. We've already seen shocks so far today. Manchester United beaten at home by Aston Villa, the most notable. I wonder whether we may well see another shock in West London tonight. Here is Andy Robertson, away in the left-back position for Liverpool, drives the ball high towards the halfway line. Norgard with the downward header to win it back, and now Mbumo is away on the far side of the field, driving into the penalty area. Good tackle from Van Dijk, just stepping in front of him, and David Connolly. Brentford win a corner right at the start of the second half, 1-1.
Yeah, good defending from Van Dijk. He just showed Mbumo down the line, didn't want him to cut infield onto his favoured left peg. Good defending, showed him down the line and then put his little foot in. It was a good start from Brentford again at the start of the second half. I mean, from the kick-off, rather than going back to a centre-half, they went back to their goalkeeper, who was about 20 yards outside of his box. He drilled it on the diagonal to you-know-who, Ivan Toney, won the flick on, and immediately they're in and around Liverpool's box. Good start.
Canos and Janelt have gone across to the far side. It will be Janelt who raises one arm up into the air to whip in the corner, left-footed in swinging. Tony climbing, great header away, comes out to Henry on the edge of the box, mishit his attempt at a volley, and now Liverpool can counter. Mane darting over the halfway line, what a ball towards Salah, and it finds Salah via a slight deflection of Henry. Liverpool have to check back there. Here's Alexander-Arnold on the right-hand side, crossing towards Salah, takes a touch up on Onyeka and thumped away on the volley at the far post by Canos, and it's a Liverpool throw on the far side of the field, and 2.5 minutes into the second period, it's already as frenetic as the first.
Devastating counter-attack, so quick Liverpool, and they turn the ball over. That pace of Mane and Salah in behind.
Here is Alexander-Arnold on the near side of the field. Ball forward towards Salah. Salah with his back to goal as he drops into a deeper lying position. Now Henderson on the near side, whose wonderful cross sets up Diogo Jota for Liverpool's equaliser in that first period. And now Joel Matip on the halfway line. The noise you can hear is from the Liverpool fans on the far side of the field, 1,700 of them, as the ball is lofted long towards Mane inside the penalty area. Back to goal. I think he thought he might have had his shirt tugged by Ayer, but the ball goes through to Ryan nonetheless, and it's still 1-1. Given away though by Janelt. Henderson's onto it in a flash. Square pass to Salah, 30 yards from goal. Further wide is Jones. Out on that left-hand channel is Robertson. Robertson takes a touch, crosses, Henderson's there, and Jota's there, and the goalkeeper makes a great save down low. Henderson's initial flick, Jota is inside the 6-yard box, and again it's handshakes and pats on the back all round for David Raya, the goalkeeper.
Well, I think Henderson should score. I mean, he doesn't make a contact, and it just lands sort of at the knee of Jota. He doesn't really know too much about it, to be honest. Bounces off him, he's going towards the near post, but David Raya gets down well.
Liverpool's first corner of the second half is taken short. Alexander-Arnold crosses from the edge of the penalty area. Oh, and it could have fallen for Matip at the far post. The clearance though from Ayer was good and well timed, and here is Robertson driving forward from the halfway line beneath the floodlights here. He sets up Salah away from two in red. Robertson goes crossfield towards the far side, and Jones nips in front of Tony. Jones drives towards the dead ball line. Tony tracking back, knocks it out of play, and Liverpool, who've been so dangerous from set pieces in the Premier League so far this season, have another corner in front of the travelling supporters. The sky is a lovely dark blue overhead. People still watching the game from the balconies in the apartment blocks, the high rises that tower over the back of that stand away to the right. The goal which Liverpool are attacking. Alexander-Arnold, that's a devilish in-swinging corner, knocked behind by Canos, who set up the Brentford goal against his former side. And Liverpool, David Connolly, really piling on the pressure at the start of this second half as they look to go in front for the first time.
Yeah, and obviously they know Brentford, how good they are at these corners, and they're ringing the box. It's not just for the first one Liverpool are hoping for contact off, it's for the second one as well. Fabinho on the edge, Curtis Jones just drifting towards the right hand side of the edge of the box. Henderson there as well. We saw Keita score from a similar sort of situation.
This time it's Robertson's in-swinging delivery, slightly overhit deep to the far post. Zanka just arms outstretched, lets the ball drift out of play, and Brentford have a goal kick away to the right-hand side. Tomorrow, TalkSport 2 will bring you two commentaries from the WSL. Manchester United against Chelsea, followed by Arsenal against Manchester City. The Champions League is back next Tuesday on the network. PSG against Manchester City is on TalkSport. Porto against Liverpool at 8 on TalkSport 2. And of course, game day back across the network next Saturday. Manchester United against Everton, Wolves Newcastle, Brighton Arsenal are commentary matches from the Premier League, as Liverpool, who've dominated the start of the second half, which is 6 minutes old, win a free kick on the near side of the field, just to the left of our commentary position, just shy of the halfway line.
Well, what I've noticed just starting to creep in with Brentford is they're just getting to the ball just a little bit too late, and by that point Liverpool have moved the ball on, so they're sucking a couple of those Brentford defenders in, laying it off, and that's how they get sort of past you and they take you out the game, and they might just have to put their brakes on a little bit earlier. You know, don't commit yourself too soon, because a couple of times Liverpool have got through them a little bit too easily.
Addison all in green, drives the ball on an angle towards the near side, the right, and Salah. First time ball to Alexander-Arnold, lovely flick from Henderson. Salah skips away from Zanka, darts down the right hand side, but in the back heel doesn't find Alexander-Arnold, who'd already darted ahead of Mo Salah, and the move breaks down, albeit Liverpool very quick to win the ball back in this second half, and the pace from Jurgen Klopp's side is a joy to behold.
It's gone up a little notch as well, because Zanka again, he goes to ground, he doesn't quite make it, Salah skips past him, and a couple of times, as I've just said a moment ago, they're fractured late now in this second half, which they weren't in the first half, Brentford, when they're closing that ball down. They're just getting played around.
Brentford are having to work really hard to stay in the game. It's 1-1 live on TalkSport as the sky continues to darken. The West London evening starting to slowly draw in. Here is Matic, long sleeve shirt, drives into opposition territory, the tall defender, plays it square, out towards the left, and Jones. Robertson is on the overlap. Robertson takes a touch, back it goes to Jones again. Jones to the halfway line, and Van Dijk with lots of time on the ball. Everybody in red and white back defending for Brentford as the noise levels are cranked up again at the Brentford Community Stadium. We've got fans penned in all around us in the commentary position. Jones for Fabinho, wearing number 3, red boots on, clicks the ball high into the penalty area. What a ball for Salah! What a goal for Liverpool, but the flag is up. It won't count, and Mo Salah is denied his 100th Premier League goal in a Liverpool shirt. It would have been a sensation had it not been offside.
What a pass this is. Fabinho on the diagonal.
He's onside, is he? We think he's onside, looking at the replay in our the commentary box.
I think Canos is just playing Mo Salah on. I mean, it's a brilliant diagonal ball.
VAR is checking it, and from our angle at least, on our monitor in the commentary position, Salah to us looks onside, and the goal is going to be given here because VAR has signalled that Salah was onside as the ball was beautifully guided through to him by Fabinho. Mo Salah on the volley first time with the inside of his left foot, tapping it under the goalkeeper, and Stuart Atwell has given the goal, and it's a landmark moment for Mo Salah. His 100th Premier League goal in a Liverpool shirt, a century of top-flight goals for the Reds, for Mo Salah. He is mobbed by his teammates. He drops down to the turf in celebration. Mo Salah is Liverpool's Egyptian king, and it is correctly, after the VAR review, Brentford 1, Liverpool 2, a century of Premier League goals for Liverpool for Mo Salah.
It's put on an absolute plate by Fabinho. You've got to say, what a diagonal pass. We spoke about Fabinho, did a little scout report on him. You give him time, he's got that diagonal from left to right, absolutely in the bag, and it's on a plate for Mo Salah.
He just loves setting records. He just loves creating history in a Liverpool shirt, and in fact, in what is his 151st Premier League appearance for the club, he is the quickest Liverpool player to reach 100 top division goals. Wow. So it's record after record, and 10 minutes into the second half, Liverpool, you have to say, on the balance of play, deservedly lead by 2 goals.
Yeah, they've just come out a little bit sharper, and you could see that. I could see that in the first couple of exchanges. They were just fractured a little bit late, Brentford, and you know, Salah, the movement there from him was absolutely superb. Came short, darted in behind, Rico Henry. And we mentioned a couple of times they were just about getting there in the first half. Rico, you know, he's quick, but he's not as quick, obviously, and you've got to be right on the money with him if you're racing someone in the foot race, you know, like Mo Salah. But the pass from Fabinho, drilled on the diagonal, just dropped over the head of Rico. Fantastic. And the finish, little side foot finish. Goalkeeper did well to get a little foot to it, but just nestled in that bottom corner.
And for Liverpool, as things stand, 10 minutes into the second half, it would be a 5th win from 6 to start the Premier League season, and most significantly, they would go 3 points clear at the top in this early stage. Alisson has given it away to Norgard though. Here come Brentford with Tony, edge of the D, through towards Mbeumo, took a deflection, good work from Jota, snapping back at his heels. Liverpool have cleared the ball, miscontrolled by Jota this time. Brentford have won it back, then there's a foul on that far side of the field on Yeka, and Brentford, who are just trying to find a foothold in the match, have a free kick 20 yards or so into Liverpool territory.
Yeah, they'll take their time here and set this up. Obviously centre halves are going to go into the box, and they've been bright on all their set pieces so far, Brentford.
Canos is over the ball, and even despite the loss of Pinnock, so much height and physicality in this side. Janssen, the former Leeds defender, the captain, stands well over 6 foot tall, as does Christopher Ayer, and so too Zanka, the two other central defenders. And of course Tony is such a remarkably able player in the air. Norgard, who scored with a header against Arsenal, is forward as well. The free kick is taken short by Janelt to Canos, who floats in the cross, headed up into the air by Van Dijk. Not a convincing header. Tony trying to knock it back towards goal, flicked away by Jota. Foul inside the penalty area on Matip, and Liverpool get themselves a free kick. And as we move towards the hour mark on TalkSport, live and exclusive from the Brentford Community Stadium, Liverpool lead 2-1.
Yeah, it was the right idea from Brentford. They shifted it again, just moved the angle, and it worked well. Just to ball in, had to be a little bit bigger to the back post. That's where Janssen was lurking up against Mane. Slightly under-hit that ball in.
Here is Henderson nudging the ball out wide to the near side, and Salah. First time ball in field, a reverse pass with his left foot, well dealt with by Janssen to lob the ball clear, and then Alexander-Arnold, slightly unorthodox, shepherds the ball awkwardly back to Alisson. Alisson's clearance to the left is poor. Robertson though manages to slide across and keep it in. There's so much pace about Liverpool when they do go forward at times, and the way that they move the ball so quickly, but so too the Brentford. And here's Rico Henry looking to race down the near side, the left. Janelt's made a run ahead of him. Henry's been forced to check back to the near side, sets up Tony, 1-2 with Janelt. Tony curling it well wide of goal in the end from outside the penalty area. David Conley, he's never scored for Brentford from outside the 18-yard box, and in truth it was well wide of goal.
Oh, he's unlucky, but I mean, how clever is this from Tony? He plays a little pass through the legs of Fabinho to Janelt, a little give and go, and yeah, missed the target, but bright play again from Tony.
He's such a confident player, isn't he, Dave? I think he said pre-season, what are your aims for the campaign as a club? He said, well, to win the league. There's no ceiling that he won't aim for. Well, and I think what he was saying there, wasn't he? He was saying there's no point in keeping expectations too low. We've got to keep our standards high.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's one of those players that won't be, there won't be a ceiling put on him, and he's keen for that. He's going to attack this Premier League like Brentford are. Have they got a response in them? I think they have, Brentford. Shown great character here today, put on a good performance so far. Just seems like Liverpool have ground them down though a little bit.
Brentford 1, Liverpool 2 an hour gone on TalkSport with Now. Don't forget, with the Now with the Now Sports Day membership, you can watch Southampton Wolves and Arsenal Tottenham live tomorrow on Sky Sports for just $9.99 without a contract. Search Now Sports. Brentford at the moment staring defeat at home in the face again. They lost their last home match here against Brighton on September the 11th. It's been a rousing night for these spectators in the first half in particular from Brentford, but Liverpool have upped the gears in the second half, and the title challengers in front with an hour gone as Jones wins a free kick on the near side about 10 yards from where Jurgen Klopp is standing with his hands in his pockets, the dark tracksuit on and the baseball cap. We saw Jurgen Klopp and Sadio Mane signing autographs as they arrived at the stadium a little bit earlier on, as Salah looks to race down the right-hand side. He's had his landmark moment, Mo Salah, his 100th goal in the Premier League for Liverpool. Fabinho now, 25 yards out, right of centre, square to Henderson. And Liverpool looking really dangerous now as they swarm forward in yellow. Mane out in the left wing position, set up to take on Canos. Brentford have a long line of players back behind the ball. Everybody inside the Brentford half bar the Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson. Van Dijk from the middle of that Brentford half. They get a square ball to Henderson, dictating the play like a metronome. Now Salah out on the far side, corner of the penalty area. Infield to Jota, back to Fabinho, in a shooting position perhaps. Square instead to Matip. Matip looks up, feeds Alexander-Arnold on the near side, the right, and Brentford are working very hard off the ball. Liverpool are going to have to be a little patient here and pass and probe, but they know they have that 2-1 advantage on TalkSport. Lovely flick from Salah to set up Alexander-Arnold, edge of the penalty area. Curling shot is blocked, comes out to Andy Robertson, hits it left-footed, drives it well wide, and it's a goal kick.
Right, terrific little give and go out on this right-hand side between Trent. Very patient play from Liverpool. You know, little give and go into Mo Salah, little flip back to Trent, came on the inside. Never really looked confident shooting with his left peg. We saw even him do shooting practice in the warm-up, didn't we? Little deflection, ended up at the feet of Robinson, who skied it over, but
even the best of them have to.
Yeah.
So Brentford 1, Liverpool 2. For the latest odds, head to Betfair with the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage, where right now you can get Brentford at 40-1 to win the game, Liverpool at 1-5, the draw 6-1. Here is Mbumo racing away down the left wing. He's got only Tony to aim at in the middle. Tony arriving late, tucked away by Robertson, away from goal for Liverpool. Did well there, the defender, facing his own goal. Tony couldn't quite reach it, and Brentford have a throw in front of that single tier, that imposing West Stand away to the left-hand side.
Yeah, and we did speak at the start as well about the areas, the spaces that Brentford would look to exploit, and that's those channels, and they've worked it really well again.
Throw from Canos, gets it back from Tony, swings in the cross, headed away by Van Dijk. The loose ball drops for Zanka, clever little touch, cushions the pass square to Onyeka. Those odds, by the way, all thanks to Betfair, where you'll get no cash out suspensions on match odds on football. 18+ begambleaware.org. Here is a cross chipped into the box from Ayer, up to the far post. Goalkeeper can't get there, and it's off the crossbar. Ayer's there again. It's in. It's in. Brentford have got themselves an equaliser. Janelt was at the far post. Ayer was there too, and Janelt was the one who nodded it over the line. And in this sensational seesaw match at the Brentford Community Stadium, the underdogs have struck again. It's Brentford 2, Liverpool 2.
Well, what a character here from Brentford. I think this is the ball in. This all starts with a brilliant ball in. I think it's Pontus Jansson thinks this to the back post, and they just keep the ball alive. He's actually outnumbered Trent. He's 3v1, and the ball just ricochets around. I think he just blasts it off the bar, eventually comes, bounces down. Janelt's there, heads it over the line. They try to clear it off the line. It goes behind clearly, and they're back in the game. Absolutely brilliant from Brentford.
It's Janelt's first ever Premier League goal, and what a time to get it. 2-2 on TalkSport after 63 minutes, and Brentford looked as though they might have been dead and buried in the match, but they have fought back here, and Liverpool, who've looked so rock solid defensively so far this season, have seen their defence breached twice from open play in the game. Not a goal that anybody saw coming, David Conley.
No, but what they did have, they loaded the back post, Brentford. So, I mean, Trent Alexander-Arnold was outnumbered 3v1, and they just kept the ball alive. Little spin and strike from Janssen off the bar, and there was Janelt, right place at the right time.
Forward by Alexander-Arnold, look for Salah. Right-hand edge of the penalty area. The Brentford fans buoyant here. Salah, corner of the box, swings in a deflected cross, cleared away by Canos on the volley, up towards halfway. Now here's Van Dijk, calm ball to find Fabinho, and it could go either way here. 20 minutes into the second half. It's Brentford 2, Liverpool 2. As Henderson tries to flick the ball away from Norgard, Zanka's there to shepherd it back to his goalkeeper. And Brentford, the art of persistence paying off for them. They've stayed in the game, and they've got themselves an equaliser. Liverpool have been utterly dominant in the half. Alexander-Arnold floats in a high cross towards Mane, far post. Mane chests it down. Jota couldn't control this, back to goal, and then it's hammered over the top by Curtis Jones, who puts his yellow shirt in front of his face. He covers his face in disappointment. It's high over the bar, and it's a goal kick to Brentford.
I think he'll be really disappointed with this. I mean, he's come onto it first time. It's right on the edge of the box, and he's laced it over the bar. I mean, Mane did well initially just to keep the cross alive, right at the back post, trying to send it back to Jota, eventually at the feet of Curtis Jones, and it's a poor finish from him. And maybe, just maybe, Jurgen Klopp soon enough, he's going to make a change by the looks of it.
And Roberto Firmino, stripped and ready to come on all in Liverpool yellow tonight, hasn't played since the 28th of August. He's had a hamstring problem, of course, as Liverpool look to rescue the victory here. Salah racing down the right hand side, drifting infield, setting up Mane. Mane takes in the delivery, headed away, comes back towards Fabinho. It was a crucial header that from Christopher Ayer at the heart of the Brentford back line. Now it's Robertson on the far side, knocking the ball back to Jones. He shoots, it's got in! It's all the way through the goalkeeper, and Curtis Jones from long range has driven Liverpool back into the lead on his first Premier League start of the season, his first goal of the season. It's a thunderous strike from Curtis Jones, and it's Brentford 2, Liverpool 3, and this remarkable match takes yet another twist.
What a hit here from Curtis Jones. I mean, you've got to say character here from the kid, because just a moment ago he blazed the ball over the bar, and here he is from about 25 yards out. He just arrows this in at the near post, cuts in off the left hand side, and he just blazes this into the roof of the net. Maybe took a little nick from Ayer, maybe just took it past the goalkeeper, but nonetheless, that is character. A moment ago, blaze it over the bar, everyone's screaming at him saying he's this, he's that, he's rubbish, and then a minute later he still has the balls to go and take that ball on again. Brilliant. And it's his last action. He scored and he's off.
Well, it's not a bad way to finish. Curtis Jones leaves the field to cheers of delight from the Liverpool supporters. Roberto Firmino is his replacement, and Brentford have made a change as well. Frank Onyeka's gone off, and here comes Shandon Baptiste, who was actually sent off in the win over Wolves last weekend, their first away win in the Premier League, Brentford, but he served his suspension in the Carabao Cup, so can play today. Brentford 2, Liverpool 3, one of the games of the season so far here on Talk Sport, and we've still got a quarter of the game to go. Raya, the goalkeeper, has had to knock the ball out of play under pressure from Salah, and Roberto Firmino, I think he won't take the throw actually, he'll leave it instead for Alexander-Arnold to take. David Connolly, you know what it's like as a young player coming through, somebody like Curtis Jones. He's made a real impression on this Liverpool side in the last season or so. That's a wonderful moment for him.
Yeah, true. I mean, just the character from a moment earlier, hitting it over the bar when he's probably better placed to then, having the confidence to take it on, and that's what makes him a Liverpool player, Obviously played against Norwich, came on the game before that, so he's built his way into the team. He's got his opportunity, obviously, maybe now with Elliott out.
Forward by Alexander-Arnold, high down the middle, takes a bounce and floats through to the goalkeeper Raya. Have we seen the last of the scoring yet? That's the question. Brentford 2, Liverpool 3, and we might not be done yet. Heavy touch from Mbeumo on the far side, but he manages to hold it up well against Robertson and goes back into his own half, and Brentford keep possession. Can they recover themselves again? It will take some character if they can do so against this Liverpool side.
Well, look, before the game, obviously, Brentford had the respect of Jurgen Klopp and his team, and they've certainly got it now, and they're still in this game. Make no mistake, that front two, they'll keep pegging Liverpool back. They will create something. They'll probably get another opportunity. Just got to stay in the game. Keep staying in the game. Keep believing. They show great character so far.
OP 717 22 3344. For game day, your verdict with Faye Carruthers and Gabby Agbonlahor. Wins for Manchester City, for Aston Villa, for Everton and for West Ham today. So much to talk about in the Premier League as Brentford come forward. Baptiste racing down the right hand side. He was tripped cynically by Robertson, and the referee Stuart Atwell shows Robertson the yellow card, and Brentford have a free kick in a dangerous position here, just a couple of yards from the corner of the penalty area.
Yeah, just a misplaced touch here, control from Robertson, and then they scamper away. Baptiste, I've seen Jordan Henderson just trying to get his teammates just to get back on it again. This is in a good area. Just a couple of yards outside the box to the right hand side.
And all three centre halves are forward. Zanka and Janssen and Ayer, Norgard and Tony there as well. Canos and Janelt standing over the ball. Janelt, who had made it 2-2 before Curtis Jones scored a beauty via a slight deflection to put Liverpool back into the lead. Less than 20 minutes to go on game day on TalkSport. The tension rising here as Janelt dinks in the delivery, high to the far post, punched away well by Alisson, and Alexander-Arnold will get to the loose ball for Liverpool. He now looks to set Mane away on the counter-attack. Mane checks in field, goes back to Alexander-Arnold, gets the return pass. Mane twisting and turning on the halfway line, right in front of us, threads it down the line towards Henderson, but Henderson is offside and looked offside from our position, certainly. Well, and Brentford have a free kick. Can they go again, David Conley?
Well, this, I guess, is the frustration with the new rules, because there he didn't look any more or less offside than the decision in the first half, and the referee allowed it to play to its conclusion. That time he puts his flag up immediately, so I think that's the frustration, certainly, that consistency.
David Raya will hammer the ball crossfield for Brentford. It's too much on it for Sergi Canos, who's got his arms outstretched, a look of amusement on his face. He wasn't expecting the pass.
Well, I'm surprised. Why have they gone that side when Tony's been so effective? Just keep doing it. Just put it on top of Matip. Tony will come across, win the flick on and peg him in. I don't know why he tried to switch the play out to Canos. Wasn't on.
Liverpool have a throw in the left-back position. The ball is chested down by Sadio Mane, midway inside his own half, and Mane goes down to win a free kick. Lots of good work off the ball as well as on it from Sadio Mane today. Mane, who recently scored his 100th Liverpool goal in the home victory over Crystal Palace. Liverpool, who travel to Porto in the Champions League on Tuesday in a game that you can hear live on TalkSport 2. Addison clatters the clearance downfield. Dark skies overhead now. Last of the setting sun away in the distance. Rich red sky. Here is Jota, lip of the centre circle. Finds Alexander-Arnold squaring in field to Henderson. We've had 72.5 minutes of play. Brentford 2, Liverpool 3. Here is Firmino. Great control on the left-hand side. Skips into the area, pulls it back towards Mane. Well seen, well read by Ayer. And Ayer can drive away and play Brentford out of defence here. Canos shy of halfway, hammers it cross-field. Tony nods it down, and Ayer is clear on goal. Can he get away from Robertson? No, he can't. He was almost exactly the wrong person to run onto that from a Brentford perspective, David Conley. The centre-half, who isn't blessed with pace, he gets a standing ovation from the Brentford fans. It was a great idea.
It was, and it comes from another brilliant, a directional header here from Ivan Toney. They're not just aimless flick-ons, that he plays. They're directional. They're trying to pick people out, and they always do. His heading ability and obviously his footwork on the floor is fantastic, but in the air he's almost unplayable.
Zanka for Brentford, just left of the three centre-halves. Janssen's socks are rolled all the way down to his ankles almost now. Crossfield, high-hanging ball out to the near side, and Henry deep inside the Liverpool half in the left-wing position, but it's a terrific tackle from Jota to dispossess him, and he races over the halfway line, and Liverpool have got Salah and Firmino and Mane all forward in support. Salah, 30 yards out, finds Mane, spins, turns with his back to goal, almost at walking pace initially. Now Robertson in the crossing position on the left-hand side. Liverpool lead by 3-2, just over 15 minutes left. Here is Fabinho out to the far side, and Robertson again. Come on Brentford is the chant from the home supporters, trying to rouse their side. It's been a formidable effort, but Liverpool's perhaps superior quality overall is maybe going to tell, but with this game you really can't give any cast-iron guarantees. Lovely feet from Norgard, just drifted away from Henderson, went cross-field with the pass, but won back by Fabinho for Liverpool. Quarter of an hour to go. Here is Firmino wearing number 9. Out to the right and Jota looks up, he's got 3 in yellow to aim at in the penalty area. Back to Alexander-Arnold with the lime green boots on. Liverpool content to keep calm, composed possession.
Well, just looking at how they've set up now with Firmino on, because it looks like they've gone to more or less a 4-2-3-1 Liverpool with Henderson and Fabinho, and then Firmino as a sort of number 10 and that front three. It looks like Jota and Salah sometimes move around, but
great ball by Henderson, floated down the right. Salah in the penalty area, first time cross into the chest of the goalkeeper Raya, and Raya quick to bowl the ball out to the substitute, the former Oxford man, Shandon Baptiste, who plays a 1-2 with Canos. The game is immediately slowed down, and Brentford have the ball just shy of the halfway line.
Yeah, and it looks like Salah, he's operating certainly more as a central striker, isn't he? You know, with Firmino just in behind him, and Jota drifting out to this right.
Canos looks from Mbumo, that's too long, and will go all the way through to Alisson, the Liverpool goalkeeper. Brentford, I think, readying another change, certainly in the not too distant future. Johan Wissa stripped and ready to come on, but Liverpool are looking for a fourth and clinching goal, and here's Salah inside the penalty area. Oh, he dinks it over the goalkeeper, but onto the roof of the net. It would have been a sumptuous finish, but Mo Salah can't believe it. It drops the wrong side of the crossbar for Liverpool, and they still lead just by 3 goals to 2.
Well, it was fantastic football. The pass from Robertson into Jota, and then he then plays it into Mane, reverses it to Salah. He's 1v1 with the goalkeeper, who stands up really well, but by his standards, I thought he'd maybe look towards the far and then reverse it near. Tried a little lob, and his poor finish in the end from Salah.
3-2 Liverpool. Salah looks for Mane now inside the box, and Mane hammers it over. It's his turn to miss a goal-scoring opportunity as Aya slid in to put him off. Brentford are going to make their 3rd change, and Christian Norgaard's number is up. Janelt, who scored Brentford's 2nd goal, is darting across the near side to take on some instructions from the Brentford assistant Brian Riemer. And it is Johan Wissa who takes to the field, brought into the club this summer from French football, and he's made a couple of substitute appearances in the Premier League. Hasn't scored a Premier League goal yet, but did score twice in the Carabao Cup in midweek, including a stunning overhead kick. Brentford 2, Liverpool 3. 12 and a half minutes to play on TalkSport. Canos with a deflected cross. It spirals towards the dead ball line. Alisson, the Liverpool goalkeeper, is there to claim. David Connolly, are we going to see another twist, I wonder?
Well, I think we're going to see more goals, that's for sure. It's a much more open game. A lot of spaces now in the middle of the park, and that front unit for Liverpool, I mean, goodness me, Jota, Firmino, Salah, Mane. We've seen that at times last season, didn't we, that front four?
Don't forget our post-match phone in once we're done here. 03717 223344. Game day your verdict. Faye Carruthers your host. The former Aston Villa and England striker Gabby Agbon-Lahore alongside Faye as always, rounding up the day's action and taking your calls. Here's Diogo Jota for Liverpool, directed inside the area for Firmino. First touch was heavy, cross came high, the defender. Firmino right by the dead ball line, turns on a sixpence. Brilliant skill by Firmino, but then Zanka came across. Zanka rattles the ball against the heels of Firmino, and it's gone out of play for a goal kick to Brentford.
Yeah, super. A little bit of skill here from Firmino, a little drag back turn. He's unlucky in the end, but look, he's definitely playing as that number 10 off the front, but at times he'll dart in behind like he did there.
Feels a long time since Ethan Pinnock's first goal of the game for Brentford. Johnson with a quick equaliser.
That was a tired jump there from Ivan Toney. In those spaces which weren't really there in the first half, but they started to appear even at the start of the second. Just harder for Brentford to make that ground up at times. They've just ground them down, Liverpool. Need to get back in it. Maybe take the rest and recovery a little bit. Don't go pressing so high.
Salah put Liverpool 2-1 up. Janelt with an equaliser. And Curtis Jones, who's since gone off, and now Salah trying to race through the middle again from Firmino's pass, almost out of nothing that for Liverpool. Firmino just threading it forward 10 yards towards the penalty spot. Salah thought he got away from 2 in red and white, cleared away by Aya. There are some tired legs, as you say, David Codley, in this Brentford side now, and Liverpool have a corner in front of the away fans.
Yeah, now quickly did Firmino go from having his back to goal to getting turned, playing that forward pass, splitting lines, breaking units. Fantastic pass, nearly worked, nearly came through to Salah.
Liverpool fans all on their feet. Wouldn't necessarily be Liverpool without a set-piece goal, you feel. Alexander-Arnold swinging the ball in towards the near post. Poor corner this time, headed away by Shandon Baptiste. The loose ball falls to Robertson. Robertson clips it across on the angle to the left again. Alexander-Arnold, all right foot. He's got Sadio Mane in support. Mane herring down the far side touchline, digging the delivery. Up goes Jota. Van Dijk was there too. Salah is far post. The glancing header behind by Canos. Liverpool relentless in the pursuit of a goal that would surely seal victory and confirm that they will go 3 points clear at the top of the Premier League. Less than 10 minutes left now. It is far from over just yet. Joe Shannon and David Connolly, the former Ireland striker, your commentary team, watching a match that has enthralled us all. Andy Robertson will take the corner for Liverpool, whipped into the 6-yard box, and it's plucked out of the air by Raya. Do they have the energy for an equaliser is a question, David Connolly.
Well, they need to just take their rest when they can. Times like now, just set it up, get their team up the pitch a little bit. You know, the front two, they've still got running in them. They're still a handful, but there are a few tired players out there for Brentford.
Janelt steers the ball to the near side, the left, and Henry's got Wissa, the substitute, on his outside. Wissa crosses in right-footed, headed away by Van Dijk. It comes back to Henry. Now Janelt steering the ball square for Baptiste. Aya, midway inside opposition territory. Canos hugging that far side touchline. Brentford looking dangerous here as they seek an equaliser. Baptiste, great cross. Tony trying to get underneath it. Wissa far post, might still drop for him! He's done it! Absolutely incredible! Yohan Wissa with his first ever Premier League goal. Never write off Brentford. They've done it again. They've come back to level the match at 3 goals apiece. This extraordinary Premier League match. It is Brentford 3, Liverpool 3.
Wow, absolutely amazing. I was looking at this move as it built up and looked at the back post. Tony just pulled off Matip, and again at the back post, Trent Alexander-Arnold was outnumbered sort of 2v1, and I think it's the strength of Tony just dragged Alexander-Arnold down. Neither of them got a little contact on the ball, and it just fell at the feet of Issa. Little ricochet off Trent on the deck, and how calm and composed was that with the finish? As Alisson came diving out of it at his feet, he just dicked it over him with his left foot. Lovely little finish from a couple of yards out. Brilliant.
Well, where next? We've waited more than 74 years for this, David Connolly, a league meeting between the two, and they have served up a thriller for the ages. Well, Brentford 3, Liverpool 3.
Are they looking at this? Is there a hint of offside maybe at the back post? Just a very faint hint that there might, maybe Vissa might be offside. I mean, that's probably the delay.
They haven't yet had confirmation of a VAR check. They are now checking the goal for a potential offside. Paul Tierney is the video assistant referee, and I think the signal has been given to Stuart Atwell, but the goal stands. It does stand. It's 3-3. It could still go either way. Brentford against Liverpool on TalkSport with WeBuyAnyCar.com. Get a quote in 60 seconds at WeBuyAnyCar.com, and definitely do not adjust your radio. Don't go anywhere. Fabinho through the middle to Salah. Oh, Jota's gone down in the penalty area. Loud appeals from Jurgen Klopp on the near side. The Liverpool fans behind the goal. Stuart Atwell not remotely interested. And now the Brentford fans are leaping out of their seats in delight at what they're seeing. This is a proper Premier League atmosphere. This is why we love the top flight. This is why we love game day here on TalkSport. This is why we own Saturdays.
Well, Rico Henry has got his arms over Diego Jota here. It's that pass again from Fabinho in that inside left channel out to the right hand side, that diagonal that he loves to play. And Jota just got on the inside of Rico Henry, put his arms on him. He went to ground, and Jota is adamant. And I'm kind of in agreement here. That might have been enough for a penalty. I'm surprised they haven't even had a look at it. Or maybe they have and they've waved it off.
5.5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Still time for a winner. 3-3 the score. Mane has won a throw. Brentford fans raucous on that far side as Robertson gives it back to Firmino, and then the Scot steers the ball into the feet of Fabinho, who is attacking the corner of the penalty area. Square to Firmino, might think about a shot, goes cross field. Tony's there to intercept. Brentford are struggling to clear the ball here, but they have won a free kick for a foul on Shandon Baptiste. And well, you think that they've been knocked down and that they've been beaten, but back they come again. Thomas Frank's side, right at home in the Premier League, and of all we've seen of Brentford so far this season, if they were to get a point here, or maybe, who knows, even better, it really would be their most remarkable achievement so far. Liverpool, of course, still have their eyes set on a winner, but Jota's given it away, and now Brentford are on the counter-attack. Mbeumo racing down the left-hand side, Tony waiting for the cross. Van Dijk slides in to clear. It's a Brentford corner in front of those supporters who are on their feet, red and white scarves flying high. People are standing up in front of us. Are we going to see the famous winner here, possibly?
Well,
having to stand up in the commentary box.
Well, Pontus Jansson's just gone over to talk to Janelt, so obviously he's got something, certainly got something planned here on this set piece.
4 minutes to go. Plenty forward for Brentford here. Not content with just a draw.
Well, they're not zoning in Liverpool, so if they get a run here, Brentford.
Janelt will loft it high towards Tony. Good header away, that by Van Dijk. Alexander-Arnold will scoop the ball high downfield. It's returned with interest by Mbeumo, and Tony in the penalty area! Ivan Tony, but the offside flag is up! The offside flag is up on the far side, and the goal will not stand. Ivan Tony thought he'd scored the most sensational goal of the Premier League season so far. There are still Brentford fans celebrating around us, but it stays 3-3.
Yeah, he's just half a yard off, but what a finish. With one touch to set himself, and he just rifled it past Alisson. He didn't move, he probably didn't know he was offside then, but he was a good yard offside.
There's a fan who's putting his shirt back on as Alexander-Arnold looks long down the right-hand side. You think you've seen it all, and then something new in this incredible football match. Henderson crossfield to the far side of Robertson. Brentford 3, Liverpool 3 on Talk Sport. Live and exclusive to national radio. 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Surely we're going to see at least one more chance. Alexander-Arnold steers it infield to Fabinho, central position, 35 yards out, has his shirt tugged by Tony. Free kick to Liverpool. Dead centre, is it close enough for an effort on goal, David Conley?
I don't think so, but I mean, Tony, look, he made a foul here, but he knew he had to get close to Fabinho. With his ability on the ball, couldn't allow him to get his head up and maybe try and pick out a player with that lovely little diagonal pass that he's got. And this is where the two centre-halves split the box, so Van Dijk's gone to the left-hand side, Matip's gone to the right, and it just keeps you guessing, right, what side is Robertson going to go to, or might be Trent taking it.
Robertson and Alexander-Arnold both over the ball. Brentford have brought everybody back to defend. 2 minutes to go.
Well, you'd imagine it might be Matip up against obviously Zanka, who's come on. It might be the one to aim for rather than Jansson's side.
Taken square to Henderson. Henderson clips in the delivery high towards the far post. Van Dijk trying to climb. Cleared away by Janssen for Brentford, and now Mbeumo down by his own corner flag has knocked it off the shins of Fabinho, and out of play it goes, I think, for a Brentford throw rather than a goal kick, right by the corner flag. 90 seconds to go. Brentford 3, Liverpool 3. It is a game, David Conley, that has had absolutely everything.
It has. Absolutely brilliant. Had everything, as you say. What a fantastic game. Some great goals, loads of action end to end.
And it may not be done yet. Baptiste hammers the ball into the evening night sky. Alexander-Arnold easily beats Whistle for pace. Header cushioned back to goalkeeper Alisson. A minute to go of normal time. Alexander-Arnold thumps the ball downfield towards Mane. Headed away by Ayer. Drops for Baptiste, who's got to the loose ball. Spun away from Mane. Now Canos wide right to Tony with the lime green boots on. Tony's early ball towards the edge of the box. Matip is there to intercept, and Matip drives it clear, high and away from danger for Liverpool. You thought these two were watertight defensively. Not so. Here's Mbeumo after Jota slipped. Mbeumo can't find Tony with the through pass. He was surrounded by yellow shirts. He did have Visser moving to the left-hand side. Elected not to use him. It's gone through to Addison. It's 3-3 as we are very nearly into stoppage time.
Well, Mbeumo and Tony, they're sort of running on empty at the minute. Put so much into this game so far. They've got to get in and around Fabinho though, and Firmino. They've got to drop a little bit deeper, help their team.
Robertson far side of the field, forward towards Mane. Mane turns away from Carlos. He's beaten him for pace. He reaches the dead ball line here, Sadio Mane. Infield towards Robertson in the penalty area. Baptiste gets across. We'll have 5 minutes of stoppage time here on Talk Sport. Brentford 3, Liverpool 3 on game day. What a finish to the action this afternoon. Here is Salah, edge of the D. No space to work with. Dinks it into the box. Headed away by Zanka. Comes back down towards Van Dijk. Van Dijk to the near side, the right. Liverpool still on the attack. Salah floats up the cross. Mane far post. Goes down. Referee waves away the appeals. It is a goal kick to Brentford. And there are 2 players down inside the penalty area, Aya and Mane. And it's testament, David Connolly, to the physical exertion of both sides this evening.
Absolutely. And I mean, Thomas Frank's just called over Ivan Toney. I wonder if he's saying to him, look, would they take a 3-3 now? Would those words come across the lips of Thomas Frank? Probably not, but he might just say, look, just sit in. Someone's got to get in and around Fabinho. I know we're tired to put a lot in, but I think they'd certainly take a point now, I think.
4 added minutes. Liverpool would go a point clear of the chasing pack in the Premier League. They would go a point clear at the top, of course, in this early stage of the season. 03717 223344 for the phone in once we're done here. Aya chests the ball down very calmly for Brentford, lip of the centre circle. 90 seconds into 5 added. Tony looking to race down the left hand side, and Mbeumo's got to it before Matip. Mbeumo from the dead ball line tries to cross. Matip was there, nobody else really forward in support in a Brentford shirt, so Mbeumo could do very little. And now Jota striding over the halfway line. Across comes Janelt to nick the ball out of play, and it's a Liverpool throw midway into opposition territory. Alexander-Arnold will take it. 2 minutes through, 5 added at the end of the game. 3-3. That's a lovely ball from Alexander-Arnold to Salah with his back to goal. Plays it towards Jota. Firmino nearly got there. Great defending to flick it away by Janelt. And now Carlos has robbed Robertson. And Carlos has looked long for Tony. What a ball that is! Tony is through. Van Dijk comes across. There's a tangle of legs. Van Dijk got to the ball. Referee says play on. Halfway through the 5 added. 3-3.
Oh, that was close.
Oh, what a ball from Alexander-Arnold. Mane, left-handed to the penalty area. Are we to find a winner here? Firmino near post. Good ball for Salah. What a save again by Raya. And it's cleared away. It's like basketball.
Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. Mane with the ball in this time, a couple of yards out. It's nearly an own goal. Great reaction from David Raya in the end.
And it's a corner to Liverpool. Thomas Frank and Jurgen Klopp, they're smiling at each other. They can't believe it. Nobody can believe it.
Well,
With caution to the wind, I think the phrase is.
They know they've been part of a really special game here tonight.
I think Rico Henry it is who's down injured in the box for Brentford. He's got cramp. He's going to have to carry on. David Raya calling for more noise from the Brentford fans behind the goal. Less than 2 minutes of stoppage time to go. Liverpool have a corner on the near side at 3-3. It's headed away at the near post. Comes back to Alexander-Arnold, the taker. Lofts in the cross. High towards the edge of the 6-yard box. A touch on it from Van Dijk. And it's gone out of play for a Liverpool corner again. Raya thought it was going out of play for a goal kick because he left it deliberately there, the goalkeeper. And who knows whether that might be costly.
Yeah, well, Trent Alexander-Arnold's ran over from this side to right-hand side. He was taking an outswing. He's now taking an in-swinger from the other side. And they've added an extra player in the box here as well, Liverpool.
Everybody back for Brentford. In from Alexander-Arnold. Paul headed away. Diving was Baptiste. A minute to go. 3-3 the score. Put back in by Robertson. Deep towards the far post. Matip is climbing. Baptiste heads it away. They want the whistle, the Brentford fans, but they've still got 50 seconds to see out here the home team. Fabinho looking to dart down the left-hand side for Liverpool. You're listening to Talk Sport. Here is Jordan Henderson. Midway inside opposition territory. Crossfield ball. Canos flicks it away with his head. It would be a heroic point for Brentford if they can hold on. 3-3 the score as Liverpool look for a winner. Long from Robertson. Raya gets to it on the edge of his penalty area, and the Brentford fans celebrate like they've scored a goal. That might just about be that.
I think so. What they did well at Brentford, I mean, although they're tight, they were sat in their box. As soon as Liverpool played that ball backwards, they squeezed, they got to the edge of the box. It just helped them make a little interception, and yeah, excellent play there.
Here is Canos on the halfway line. We've just about had the 5 added minutes. Liverpool have won it back, and Salah's trying to race clear on goal. Raya beats him to it, and the final whistle blows, and cheers from the Brentford supporters. The most remarkable Premier League football match. Big hugs on the near side between Jurgen Klopp and Thomas Frank. The points are shared in this most extraordinary 3-3 draw. Looks of disbelief and delight on all of the spectators surrounding us. Liverpool can't believe they haven't picked up all 3 points, and I don't think Brentford can believe they've salvaged a point from this amazing game. The game of the season so far. All started what feels a long time ago in the first half with Pinnock's opener for Brentford, Jota with the equaliser. Liverpool much improved at the start of the second half, took the lead through Salah, his 100th Liverpool goal in the Premier League. Janelt scored an equaliser for Brentford to make it 2-2. Curtis Jones then from 25 yards thundered Liverpool back into the lead, but it was left to Johan Wissa with 8 minutes to go off the bench to dink the ball over Addison to salvage this most remarkable of points for Brentford. We had waited more than 74 years for a league meeting between these two clubs, and my, oh my, it was worth the wait. It has finished here on TalkSports Game Day as Hey Jude echoes around this stadium. Brentford 3, Liverpool 3.